All right, good afternoon, everybody. I have some announcements to make, just so you know. It was brought to our attention that the police department is doing some type of fundraising. People are getting phone calls regarding this. It's the Uxbridge Police Department. I guess this is not a scam. We did confirm that today. They're asking that you leave a check on your door for this. I would caution you on that, though, just to make sure that if you want to donate, if you'd like, you can bring it here, and we will make sure it gets to the police station. Okay. So that's entirely up to you, but I just wanted to let you know that we heard about that, and we did confirm that they are doing that. Are they? Oh, that's not good. Okay. So maybe at the next Lunch and Learn, when the chief comes, we should tell him about that too, so because he needs to know that. Okay. All right. The other thing. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. You okay? Okay. Okay. So that was one thing that I wanted to mention. Also, the new March newsletter should be out next week. Just wanted to let you know about that. We are completely booked for tax appointments. If you need to file for your taxes, unfortunately, we have no appointments available at this time. I'm maintaining a wait list right now, but unfortunately, that's where we're at with all of that. So we can direct you to other senior centers. They might still have some openings, just so you know. Sally, what am I forgetting? Is anything else going on?
Oh, I do have a question for you guys, because I already had one suggestion today. We're starting a new season of going to different restaurants, and it was already suggested that we take a trip to BBT, their restaurant that they have over there. So I will put that on my list. But if you guys know of a decent restaurant that you would like to visit, because as of now, I've chosen them all. But if you guys know of a good restaurant you'd like that is decent price, that we're going to get, 20, 25 and under for the full meal, coffee, tea, whatever, then let me know, write it down so I can give them a call and figure things out, okay, guys?
How far do you travel to a restaurant?
Oh, we go all the way to the Old Mill in Westminster. If it's a good restaurant, it's got a good reputation, and they got the price, and it was a beautiful view. We do. We're going. The first restaurant we're visiting is the Chinese buffet in Woonsocket. That's their favorite. So the sign-ups will be up next week. Next week is the week after. New sign-ups March. We're gonna start putting them up. So don't forget to jump on the bandwagon, okay, guys? Do it early. The new rules are we're gonna start pulling them as soon as they get full, so you can't jump on to, you know what I mean? So if you want to do something, please sign up when it's up there, okay? And if you're going to cancel, please give me a heads up, because there are always people who want to go or do things, and they can't because I've already pulled it and you guys cancel on me at the last moment. I understand that happens, but, okay? Thank you.
All right. Yeah, BVT restaurant is very good. I've been there a few times. Students do a nice job. Okay, I want to introduce Eli Boutros. Am I saying that correctly? Okay, from the Census Department. He's going to be doing our presentation today. Just a few words about the census. It's very important this year for you to complete that. Some of you may know, some of you may not know that the census is how the senior center gets funded through the formula grant every year through the state. So that's very important. Right now we're using the 2010 census for the way that we get paid here at the senior center. So we know that the 60 and over population is growing by leaps and bounds. So it will be good for us to have a most recent census in order to get the correct coverage for everyone and the correct payment through our grants. So That's very important. So he's going to give us an update on all that as well. So welcome. Thank you. All right. So let's do a moment of silence before lunch, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. Yeah. First, I wanted to thank Lisa and the Uxbridge Senior Center to invite me to share important information with you about the 2020 census. This is the federal census. This is not your town census. The difference, the town, they run their census every year. The federal census, it's happening every 10 years. So I have important information to share with you, and if I can get your attention, that will be great. First, how many of you knows about the census? Great, great, okay. I'm not gonna go through all the slides, just I'm gonna share with you the important information about the census that each of us should know about the census. What is the 2020 census? Our goal, trying to count everyone's only one in the right place. Trying to count everyone's once in the right place. We are expecting to count over 330 million people for 2020 census, over 140 million housing unit. And as you know, the census, it's mandated by the Constitution of United States. And this is happening every 10 years, in years ending with 0. So as you remember, we did like 2000, 2010, now we're doing 2020. The next one is gonna be in 2030, okay? And the census has been around for 230 years, since 1790. Okay, and as I mentioned to you, it's mandated by the Constitution of United States. I want you to remember three things, or I wanted to share with you three things. The census, it's safe, it's easy, and important. Let's talk about safe first. All the information we collect at the Census Bureau, it's top confidentiality for us. So, all responses, we don't use any of the responses against you. We don't share it with any federal, government agency, state agency, not even with the court. We use this information for statistical purpose only. Okay? Being employee by the Census Bureau, and all the Census Bureau employees take legally binding oath for life to protect your information. And any violation under federal law, Title 13, we could face 5 years in prison, $250,000 penalty, or both. So I want you to remember, please, all the information, it's confidential. We don't share it with anybody. And it's only for statistical purpose. Easy. We talked about safe, now we're gonna talk about easy. For the first time ever, we're gonna conduct 2020 census 4 ways. In the past, it used to be the paper form. You receive it in the mail, you fill it out, you mail it back to us. Now, you can respond to the census online, the internet, or by phone, the paper form as well. And finally, if you don't respond on your own, somebody's gonna knock on your door. Okay? So online and by phone are supported by 12 non-English languages. This is very important. So I don't know if you can tell by my accent, I'm from Syria. I speak the Arabic language. So always I tell the people who don't speak or read or write English, it's not a big deal. Don't be afraid when you receive your invitation in March. And by the way, the census is coming in March, mid-March. Okay? I want you to go online, because when you go online, there are so many options for the languages for those who don't speak, read, or write English to respond to the census. In the following slide, I will show you the languages are available to respond online and by phone, 12 non-English languages. The paper form is available only in 2 languages, English and Spanish. It's very important to share with you the census don't ask any sensitive question. We don't ask you about your social security, okay? We don't ask you about your bank account, credit card account. We don't ask you for money or donation. We only care to count how many residents we have in United States. Simple question like your name, as you can see, your age, date of birth, origin, and phone number, like just how many residents at this address, because we wanted to know where you live, how many residents in this address. So just remember, no sensitive question, no social security. If there is anything about social security or any money, this is a scam, okay? This is the 12 non-English languages are available to respond online and by phone. I'll go through them. Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Russian, Arabic, Tagalog, Polish, French, Haitian, Portuguese, and Japanese. So people who don't, as I mentioned, don't speak, read, write English, they can take the census and respond to the census in their own language. Important, it's very important for us, for our community, for everybody. Why? Like just Lisa mentioned, because the fund come to any senior centers depends on the result of the census, the data of the census, okay? I wanted to tell you 2 things about why it's important. Think about power and money. The result of the census will determine the number of seats each state has in the Congress, House of Representatives. Besides that, will define congressional and state legislative districts, school districts, and voting districts. Money. Do you know there is over $675 billion each year with the B, billion? The federal distribute among the states based on the population counts. So if we do a great job, we do accurate count, we get our fair share of this money. And we don't leave any money on the table. Okay? And all this funds, I don't need to mention to you why we need it. Medicare, Medicaid, housing, educations for school for kids, first responders, hospitals, health centers, any programs run in any states depends on the federal funds. And to get as much as we can from this federal funds, we have to give the accurate count for our population in the state of Massachusetts. Not just the government, even private businesses, okay? They depend on our data to provide them with the critical information for planning decision. For example, if, let's say, Walmart, they want to come and open a store here in Uxbridge, they study our data to find out, is it worth it for them to open a store in Uxbridge? Okay? By the way, I'm sorry I didn't mention that. If you have any question, any concern, feel free to stop me. So we'll keep that to the end. This is just to show you, like, to respond online, the internet, it's supported by 12 non-English languages. As well, the phone, supported by 12 non-English languages. This is just a language guides in 59 non-English languages. Basically, this is on the internet, on our website. We'll walk you through the questionnaire, like step by step, what you're gonna see on the census when it comes. The last one, it's about the paper form. It's only available in English and Spanish. So I want you to remember the census, the invitation, we're gonna start sending the invitation in mid-March. This is the time frame or the timesheet. So between March 12 and the 20th, every single household in the United States will receive an invitation, okay, to go online and respond and fill out the census, respond and fill out the census. After like almost a week, we're gonna start sending a reminder letter. So people who didn't respond yet or didn't respond to the census, they will receive the reminder letter to respond. So online and by phone at that time it's available. A week later, between March 26th and April 3rd, we're gonna start sending a reminder postcard. The paper form is not gonna come out until between April 8 and 16. Okay, so we're not gonna send the paper form, the one everybody knows who we used in the past, up front in the beginning. So in the beginning, we want people to respond online or by phone because this is gonna be a faster process for us to collect and conduct the census. So almost like 4 weeks later, the paper form is gonna be mailed out. Then the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start sending people to knock on doors of those who didn't respond on their own. When you respond to the census, okay, the invitation is gonna come to resident at. It's not gonna come under your name. We don't know who lives in this address. Okay, probably you live in, it's 36 here, South Main. Okay, probably you live today at 36 South Main Street. 2-3 years down the road, you don't live at this address. So the invitation is gonna come resident at 36 South Main Street. It's not gonna be under your name. Okay, and at this time you can respond online or by phone. If you wanna wait, you can wait until you get the paper form if you feel comfortable to respond using the paper form. And this is gonna happen around April 8 to April 16. What is April 1st? Okay, this year we're not gonna call it April Fool's Day. April 1st, 2020, it's a Census Day. Okay, we're gonna change it this year. We celebrate the Census Day once every 10 years. There is a reason. For example, folks who they spend sometimes here, sometimes in Florida, they keep going back and forth, they're gonna receive 2 invitations. One here, one in Florida, because they have 2 residency addresses, right? Okay. To answer this question, where should I be counted? Is it Massachusetts or Florida? The answer is where you live and sleep most of the time. So if you live and sleep 6 months and 1 day in Massachusetts, you should be counted in Massachusetts, and vice versa. But some folks, they don't keep a track about the time how many days did they spend here, how many days in Florida. To ease your concern and to know how to respond or where to respond to the census is where you're gonna be on April 1st. If you're gonna be here in Massachusetts, you respond in Mass. If you're gonna be in Florida, you respond in Florida. Is that clear? We're good? Any questions so far? Please, I love questions. And this is how we can learn. No question? Not so far. Any question here? Share it with me, please.
Somebody brought up the subject of illegal aliens. How are you screening those out?
Okay. Did you, I said we are encouraging everybody to respond. Everybody. When I said we're not asking about Social Security, what does that mean? Who doesn't have Social Security in this country? Undocumented. Okay? So we don't care about the residency status of this person or this family. We wanted to count them because they share with us schools, first responders, hospitals, health centers, every single day. It's a single thing. And if we don't count those families, they are affecting us. We want to encourage them. We want to tell them it's safe, okay? Because the information, we don't share it with ICE. We don't share it with the FBI. We don't share it with anybody. It's only used for statistical purpose. Our goal to count everyone once. Okay. So, is that clear? Is that a good question for you?
Well, know what people can do with computers.
Okay.
There's gotta be some crook out there can do computers.
What is it? They don't know how to do computers?
No, so there's gotta be somebody alive who knows how to get into your system other than those who you're supposed to.
To our system? Exactly. That's why we have. I mean, that's why we wanted people to respond online. Okay. And by the way, all the information when you respond, it's encrypted. Okay. We work with the top security, cybersecurity expert to make sure our programs it's safe and meets the highest standards of cybersecurity. Okay. You can do online by the phone. If you don't feel comfortable, the paper form is coming. If you prefer that method. We have something else.
I'm just not a trusted person. I just don't believe that
Well,
anything could be 100% secure.
Okay. So if you don't trust the online, there is a phone option. There is a paper option. So does that mean you never respond to the census in the past? Perfect. Okay. So if you feel more secure, more comfortable to do the paper form, please feel free. Like, we wanted to encourage everybody. I want you to share with your relatives, with everybody you know, to participate and to respond to the census because this is affecting our life. Okay? We depending on the federal funds in every single aspect in our life. Okay? Anything. And that's why we wanted to encourage people to respond and to participate answering the census. Any other question, please? We're good? Okay, finally, I wanted to mention to you about the job. We have job available at the Census Bureau right now. We are looking to hire people at the community level for our non-response follow-up operation. So people who they're not gonna respond on their own when we're gonna start sending people to knock on their doors, we are looking for those people to hire, people from the community, people from your neighborhood. It's not stranger from different town, different city, different neighborhood. And the pay for this job, it's $22 per hour plus mileage. So if you know any grandchildren, anybody wants to work, it's $22 per hour. It's flexible hours. They can pick and choose what time they want to work, and they can work Saturday and Sundays. Okay? And that's all. Thank you, everybody. If you don't have any question, any concern, I appreciate that. And Lisa has my information. If any question, any concern down the road come to your mind, please let Lisa know, and we can answer this question for you. Okay? Thank you. Enjoy your food. Thank you.